So everybody has their own favorite research tools, and I just want to talk about a couple of mine. I am not a person to go headlong into tools, even though I'm a tech guy. I do like Zotero as a reference manager, and it has quite a few features. I want to talk about some of those. One of the things I like about it is it works with Linux. It works with open source software. I can control my data. I have access to it. I can access the database that Zotero uses to store data. I don't have to depend on someone else's code uh, the way that is used, and I can modify things that I need to modify. I can work with other open source software and plugins, and I can annotate and make notes. And the cool feature that I'll show you today also is it's an RSS reader, and we'll see what that is. So I'll just jump right into Zotero really quickly, and I'll show you a couple things about it. Now, besides using categories, many of you have seen Zotero before, and you see that you can pull articles into it. But one of the things that you may not have seen is that you can actually use Zotero as an article reader. So as you can see, I can look at a document and I can read it here, but I can also use the text and I can highlight. When I highlight things, I can choose the color that I highlight, and it actually creates an annotation in the document. Now, I can actually also make notes here about whatever I want, and my notes are preserved. So when I close that document, it doesn't look like it, but it's still there. The notes I made, and I can pull those notes out. If I right click, I can add notes from annotation, and now I have a document that I can open up and look at. I can also make annotations from all of the documents in my folder right here, or even in my whole library. And so I would just make an annotation create notes from annotations. And as you can see, I've done that here. And I have that in a document that can be viewed with Zotero. One of the great features about having these annotations is that the links to the source documents are preserved. Now, I have tested this by exporting this to a Markdown file, converting it into a Word document. The links continue to be preserved. As you can see, it takes me right to the item. If I export it to Word, that link will actually open the file, the source file. I have tried by also converting it into an NVivo document, and NVivo also preserves the links. So if I were to drag this into a category in NVivo, all of that will be preserved. Okay, so that is the coolest feature about Zotero, including if I wanted to make some notes, I could do that. This is a free form writing document that I can make. But another thing that many people don't know about Zotero is that it is also a full functioning RSS reader. And I follow a lot of cybersecurity blogs, but I also follow HRD. And so what I have the capability of doing is adding blog feeds into my Zotero. What it lets me do is it lets me see all of the articles that are current in a particular area or field. And I can click on those. I can add them to my library. I can look at the abstracts or anything else that I want. And I'm going to show you how to add an RSS feed today. So we have the Human Resources Development Review. And I'm going to go ahead and unsubscribe from this feed. And I'm going to re-add it. So I'm going to go to the journal's homepage. And in this case, Human Resources Development Quarterly. And what I'm going to look for on that homepage is a little icon that looks like a radio. That's the RSS icon. If I find any journal publisher that has RSS, they are going to have this little radio icon. If I click on it, I can have two choices, the most recent articles or the most cited. If I want to choose the most recent, I'm going to right click on that and copy the link. Now I can go to Zotero. I can click on my new button and choose a new feed from URL, and I'll paste in that URL. Now, because of the way that it sorts and organizes the feeds, I like to preface it with the letters HRD. That way they'll all be grouped together. When I click Save, now that feed gets added into my feed list, and there it is. It's available for me. We'll do one more. I have the this is another publisher, the Emerald Insight, and they're going to have their RSS link in a different spot. You see it right there. You look for that little radio icon, and I'm going to right click it and copy the link. And now I can click on the new feed from a URL. I'll paste it in. In the title, I'll put in HRD so that it'll group it properly. And in just a few seconds, I'll have the full feed of all of the articles. Now, I can just scan those really quickly and look for people that I know. Look for articles and other things that are there. And it gives me a way to very quickly look through data. Okay, now we will move on really quickly to another thing that I wanted to show you, and it's just some things to save you time. We'll show how to split the screen in Windows, read mode in Word, and how to add symbols to documents. These are all time-saving tips that I found a lot of people don't know, and we'll jump into it really quickly. Okay, now one of the things I want to show you how to do is to use the read mode. So let's just, if you see a little icon down here, this turns on read mode. Now, if this was my writing document and I'm writing something in this Word document, and I wanted to open up another document and actually look at it to read from, this is another document that I've created, and I turned on read mode. That's the normal edit mode that we see in Word. But this button right here will open up read mode. It allows me to very quickly scroll through the document with my mouse wheel. A little bit easier to look at. It puts it in a big font so it's easy to read, and it just makes it a pleasant experience to scroll through if I was using some notes or whatnot to write with. This is a way to save some time and allow you to do that. Now, the way that I have these windows split is I'm using my Windows key. I can move the windows around and make them fit where I want them to. And when I do that and put them in a new spot, it's going to give me a choice of any other window that's open, and I can click on it, and now it's in a different spot. That's the Windows key and the left and right arrows that will allow me to do split screen mode. Okay, so let's say you're doing a quantitative paper for Dr. Nyman or Dr. Yu, and one of the things that you find yourself having to deal with is you want to use some Greek text. So you got to go find the symbols, and you got to go search through these symbols. And it takes a lot of time. Every time I want to write the beta or the alpha or the eta symbol, I got to look through it, and it takes time. What you'll notice is that because of Unicode, every character in the alphabet has a unique 4-digit code. And I went through and collected those codes for some Greek symbols. And I put them in a text document right here. So if I'm actually writing in Word, and I'm going to go ahead and dock my window here. And let's say I want to put in the little character beta. Now, I could copy it and paste it, but that takes a few mouse clicks to do. And when I paste, I got to make sure I paste it in the right spot. I don't have to worry about that. All I have to do is type in 03B2 and hold down the alternate key on the keyboard and hit X. And now I have a beta symbol that I can easily type. And I can go through and save some time while I'm doing my quantitative work. Here's another example. It's a special symbol that I use maybe a little often. It's a copyright symbol, 00 Alpha 9. I hold down the Alt-X key, and now there it is, the copyright symbol. And so I can put in my information pretty easily. That works in a notepad or a Word document, anywhere in Windows. If you use these 4-digit numeric codes and then press Alternate X, those codes will be converted into a special character. All right, those are some time-saving tips, and I'll give you one more research tool, and that is when I look at my Zotero, one of the things that I see in the articles is I will see some numbers. These numbers over here are the citations. Now, I have installed a plugin in Zotero that interfaces directly with a website called Scite, S-C-I-T-E. Scite is a premium service. It's a subscription based. But if I right click here, what it will do is I have an option to view a site report. When I do that, I go to the website Scite, and it actually will search for this article, and it will find all the articles that were cited by this, all the publications that cited this article, and all of the references that this article made. The cool thing about the citations is that I can see in context who cited the article and what they said, and it helps me understand the context in which this article is being discussed. So there are a lot of other features related to Scite that I don't know how to use. So I'm relatively new to this platform. This, like I said, is a premium platform. It originally cost $20 a month. I tried it for a couple of weeks. I paid the $20 for the first month, and then I decided to cancel. Well, guess what? They came back and immediately offered me 50% off my subscription. So I get it for $10 a month, and I've been paying for it for a while. Whether or not I'll totally begin to use it, I don't know. Your mileage may vary, but it's a tool that you can try. So I wanted to give you some options, some time-saving tools, and hopefully just some things that you haven't heard about. Thanks for your time. Happy researching.